hello beautiful, thank you so much for being here. If you are new, welcome, and if you love this info, please subscribe. I am Cody, always here to help you have the most healthy, glowing, and gorgeous skin. And I'm doing a Get Ready with me today, and I am just trying to answer some questions that I get about my products. It's going to be a video where I am going to be talking about my products and different ways that you can use them, because so many of you have been buying them. I mean, I'm shocked. I don't really know what to say. The best compliment I can get is that a product of mine or that I carry has helped somebody with their skin and their concerns, especially something they've been dealing with for a very long time. I find it to be such an honor to be trusted with your business, with your face, with your concerns, and I just thank you guys so much, and thank you to all the people that took advantage of the Black Friday sale. I mean, you guys were not playing. We are still just trying to keep up with shipping all the orders. We've never had anything like that happen where it just was, you know, you hope for the best in business and then just kind of see what happens. Well, I do anyway. The days of like making sure that I plan something so it happens so perfectly, I get stressed over that. So I just go, we'll see, you know, let's see what happens. Let's hope for the best, Jesus, you know. So today I'm just going to be using some of my products and talking about them and different ways and techniques that you can use them. So the first thing I just want to say that, you know, my products are not for everyone. So if your skin is like super sensitive or you're not down with acids and exfoliation, then my line is probably not for you. But a lot of you that have been buying them, that's what this video is for, because you've been asking me a lot more questions in the comment section and in emails. So this I thought would be a great way to kind of just talk about it all in a way that I hope doesn't confuse you, overwhelm you, and of course I always want you to stay safe. So you can use less than I'm using. My skin is pretty hardcore. I've treated a lot. Or you can back off if you're getting too dry, you're getting too flaky. You know, trust yourself, check in with yourself to back off, moisturize more, wear sunscreen, and just, you know, kind of ease into the products because they're more acidic. Every product, it has a purpose. And every product, this is how I think. If the product is good enough to use on my clients in my office, then I bring it to the market. That's kind of how I roll. So, and there are many products that I don't bring to market because it doesn't live up to my standards, and I'm pretty picky. So everything we use in my office and we use on clients, and they also use at home. So that's kind of my philosophy, is I can't be putting my name on anything and then you be like, oh, you said it was gonna work. I just don't roll like that. Like, I just really think if you give me your money, you have to experience something of a result. I think that's fair, wouldn't you agree? So I'm gonna show you today how I use stuff, what I've been using, why I use it, how to use it differently, and I might confuse you a little bit, but the first thing I also just wanna say is there's no rules. I know that skincare companies kind of create systems for you and they create sets for you, and that's really good probably from an educator standpoint, so maybe I'm not doing well in that aspect because it makes people feel probably a little overwhelmed or confused, but the truth is, I feel like in the end it empowers you. And whenever you say you have to use this, but you can't use that with this, then you start to complicate things a little bit. And there are some things that maybe you shouldn't do after a certain like application process, but in our office we're very aggressive and we get beautiful results, and our process and our technique and our services are not for everyone, just like these products. But if you're looking for, you know, that next level result, if you're feeling like you've been training your skin and you're ready to kind of push it a little bit, you know, the skin is the largest organ and it's tough. I know people say, oh, it's sensitive. A lot of times the skin is sensitive from the wrong use of products, or it's always women that say their skin is sensitive, and maybe, you know, you have sensitive skin. There is a category for that, of person of skin type, but typically it's also used from the makeup and the toners and perfumes and fragrance and stuff. And then if you overly use something, even one of my products, your skin can become sensitive. So you have to learn, you have to be your own skin therapist. You have to learn to use everything when you kind of need it in the moment what your skin needs most. And you have to learn when to back off. You need to learn when to push it. It's just like, I feel like I'm kind of your skin trainer here to guide you and to push you. Like, you could go to the gym yourself, of course, and do a great workout. But when you're with a trainer, you're kind of like, you know, on your A game, and you're really trying to push it a little bit for yourself because that's why you've hired them. The same is true of like when you go to any professional. When you go to a professional, they are there, you're paying them to do something that you can't do yourself. So, all right, so first of all, I have nothing on my skin right now. And my skin looks a little interesting, but it's already starting to improve because I'm gonna be releasing a video. I'm not sure when, I'm trying to edit it. It's super long and it's my video of why I think retinol is better, and I know it's gonna be controversial, but I've been actually testing my theory. I've been studying a lot about this and have always known retinol to be great, but now everybody's using Retin A, and so I'm gonna go into great detail about that. But I've been using 6 to 8 pumps of my retinol, and this is the 4th day doing that, and I'm already starting to get the tightness and a little bit of the glow, but also there is a little bit of dryness. But I'll go into great detail about why I think retinol is maybe better for your end goals. So, and also just happy holidays to all of you for, you know, just I hope that you have a wonderful holidays and end up spending it with the people you like and love, or doing what you like and love, and really focusing on the things that really matter in your life, like resting and playing and appreciating yourself and appreciating all that you've done, who you are, how you show up in the world. Those things are the things that I think truly matter right now. So just focus on those things, and thank you all to you for supporting my brand and believing in my brand. And so we're working on a couple things right now. I'm reformulating stuff, and instead of bringing out tons of products to market, I'm not really interested in that. I want to make what I have even better. That's always kind of my obsession. So let's get started, because you know me, I go on and on. I just love you guys, and I feel like we are so connected. I could just go on and on. So anyway, so I'm gonna actually start with the retinol just because I think it's imperative to show you that. So so the retinol formulation in this is 3%, and retinol actually penetrates deeper into the skin, and more of the cell is actually able to absorb retinol than retinoic acid. I'm going to go into that in another video. That's not what this video is for. But I've been trying to just repair my skin and really prove that the retinol theory that I've been, you know, really kind of wanting to teach is really something, because I was using Retin A and I was getting post-inflammation hyperpigmentation, and if you've used Retin A, you know that irritation is terrible. So there's 4 pumps on my fingers right now, and my skin is clean, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you kind of how to apply it so that you can get better results that work a little quicker and will start to transform the skin cells and to start to suppress pigmentation and to also help with tightening and collagen stimulation. All of those things really only occur when it goes below the surface of the skin, so you have to apply enough in the skin in order to actually get that benefit. So this is 4 pumps, and I just spent some time. I know some people are really careful around their eyes, but here's my theory. It's skin, and yes, it's more delicate, and be careful, be cautious, ease your way into it. But in our office, we treat people, and so if you're really sensitive or whatever, trust your own judgment. Don't do your under eyes. But I feel like the under eyes and the eyelids are like the most neglected area on the face that people are really cautious with, and it's good because you don't want to get irritated. So less is more. You can water stuff down, but there's nothing wrong with using the essence of whatever. I put it right under my eye, so that's just what I do, but that might not work for you. So that is absorbed really quickly, partly because I didn't have any moisturizer on, but there is soothing agents in there and buffers are important in retinol, because vitamin A is irritating. Retinoic acid is very irritating because it's the acidic form of retinol, and with this, it's not the acidic form, but it can still be irritating because it's very concentrated. So that was 2 pumps, and I'm going to rub another 2 more pumps on my forehead because that's an area that I'm always kind of working on. And I do spend some time to kind of work the product into the skin so that it's really kind of getting in there. I think that the love and the intention and the time that you spend rubbing stuff in really kind of helps things work better. Maybe I'm full of woo-woo here, but I really feel that. So I just always make sure I get my ears, behind my ears, and also back of my neck. And on my neck. You can actually put retinol on your neck. I know there's conflicting information. Everybody does it differently. I'm just sharing what we share with our clients and the research I read and I study. And I read and study more aesthetic dermatologists and surgeons and people that are doing hardcore aggressive treatments and using medical grade skincare. So that might not be your jam, and that's fine. So there's enough room and people and information for everyone. Now I'm going to put a little bit more around my eye area like this, so that this area gets a lot of collagen stimulation. And already within the 4 days of me using this product, I have gotten a lot more tightness and firmness, and I am kind of documenting the process, so I'll show you later in a future video. So, and then I kind of just tap that into the eye area, causing a little bit of stimulation. some people have said you shouldn't rub your products in. I've gotten some comments about that. Do what feels right for you, okay? I mean, however you want to do it is fine, but you know, if a product has a very delicate formulation and it's encapsulated in all these spheres and stuff, then the company should tell you that, but there's nothing wrong with causing heat and stimulation and massaging products into your skin. It's what we do in facials, it's what you do when you go see a professional. That may be very delicate things like growth factors and maybe some peptides and stuff, but typically the old style is, you know, delicate, and if you love that, that's fine. You do you. I'm definitely, you know, more aggressive, not for everyone. So then you would let the retinol, so if you're using a retinol, this is what I think, is you either use the retinol by itself and let it soak in for 15 minutes and then apply whatever else you want, a brightener or a moisturizer, do whatever you want. Or you would do everything before, let that soak in, like a moisturizer or a vitamin C serum, and then apply the retinol after. You really want the absorption of the retinol to really do what it's supposed to do, because it does travel deeper into the skin. So if you use retinol first, you can, and then put a brightener on there, it'll kind of piggyback that brightener into the skin a little bit deeper. But if you use like a liquidy serum, it doesn't dry right away, like a vitamin C, like from my brand, like the 12% or the Beauty Elixir. This is a limited edition that I'm coming out with. I'll keep you guys posted. A Beauty Elixir is 1 ounce instead of ½ ounce. Then you want to put that on and let it fully absorb, but don't put the retinol on right away, because if you put the retinol on right away, you're mixing with the serum and the other acid. You really want time, you want your skin to have time to absorb those ingredients. You're kind of like marinating the steak, so to speak, with ingredients a little bit at a time instead of cocktailing everything together. But there is a time and a place for cocktailing with certain ingredients. Like I've already said, everything from my line you can mix and interchange. I know that might sound confusing or overwhelming, but there's really no rules except use less, make sure you build up tolerance, and then kind of keep going instead of using twice as much, too much, so you have a reaction or redness or hardcore like issue like dryness or dehydration. So there's like no rules. I know that some of you will love the rules and the steps. So I'm going to show you now my precision brightening treatment that we're actually working to make even better right now, adding more agents into it, but people are obsessed with this product. It's great on all skin types. It is a lower form of hydroquinone, 2%. Bad idea to go off things every 90 days anyway and give your skin a little break and then reintroduce it, because your skin kind of gets memory of stuff anyway. It gets kind of lazy. So I always say, you know, you don't do the same workout the same way for the rest of your life. You know, you do hardcore weights and then you do more reps and you do more cardio. It's the same thing. Skincare is like your diet, and how you apply it is like your workout. So if you're trying to brighten pigmentation and you are suffering with like melasma, what I would recommend is that you would start off with my Illuminating Lift Cleanser now. But if you didn't have this and you had just the lactic, then that's fine. Just start off with some type of exfoliant first, and then what you're going to do is you're really going to spend some time trying to work on the areas that you want to improve. So let's say that you had, you know, some pigmentation here, some melasma here. The thing about exfoliation that people don't realize is that either they're doing it too much or they're doing it not enough, and exfoliation could really help you. And I think a chemical exfoliation is the best way to go, because it's just more of an intelligent way to exfoliate. The skin prefers it. It's a little bit more even and it's not abrasive and doesn't cause a lot of stimulation. But, you know, if you can only afford or use like a manual one, just make sure it's very gentle and you don't get too like abrasive and crazy with it. So you rub that in, and I spend time. You spend about a minute in the area that you're really trying to work on. So if this is pigmentation here, you can apply another pump there and really kind of work on that. You really want to work it in. We use this product on almost every client in our office, and we will really prep them and even do a double cleanse with it when we want to brighten the skin right away and prep it for whatever else we're doing a brightening treatment. So if you have a stubborn skin issue, you need to spend a little bit more time working on it. And will your skin react? Will it get dry? Can it get flaky? Can it get red? Yes. But in my theory, you need to make the skin stronger, and that's how you do that. You use a little bit more, and you use a little bit more pressure rubbing that cleanser into the skin. Really get a good exfoliation and an even exfoliation. If you came into my office, this is what we would do. So I'm showing you kind of what I do behind the scenes, and some people have not been happy about that, but that's who I am, and that's what my job is to not withhold my information and to help you get the best, most beautiful skin possible at home, empowering you. So you're like, oh my God, I didn't know I could do that with my skin. Because there's a lot of fear around the skincare, and you need this, and you need to buy all the products, and you don't need to buy all the products. You can start with one product, you can do two. It doesn't, like, more products isn't gonna probably give you the result that you want. It's using more of the one product you have and using it in different ways and different techniques. And you should massage the skin up like this, in my opinion, so that you're getting that stimulation, and then rubbing it with your hands, like your fingers like this, into the forehead area. And I do get it right underneath my eye. If you're not down with that, that's fine. Be safe, be gentle, be careful. But you know, it is skin, and I want to treat this eye area. We do peels right underneath the eyes in our office. And so do what feels right for you. If you have very sensitive eyes, that's fine. So put a little bit right on my lip and right here in this area. So these lines or future lines are always kind of getting treated. I also get behind my ears. I get all behind the ear and in the hairline, because I do wear a tint. A lot of people are not cleansing enough. If you wear a lot of makeup, you should have your skin cleansed with makeup as much as possible. Will it cut through makeup? Sure, it does, and it will. But even in our office, we take off the makeup with a baby wipe, or we do first a cleanse, especially if it's a lot of makeup. It's because I don't like wasting product either, and this is a concentrated amount of alpha hydroxy, so you kind of want to take advantage of it's concentrated, and you don't want to just have that acid eating through makeup. You want to kind of even wipe your skin with a baby wipe first, but make sure you get in your hairline like this. Especially if you're dealing with acne, you need to like really get all of that hairline, oil, bacteria, makeup, tint, whatever it is, out. And then behind your ears, behind your neck, and like this too. I know some people are saying, you know, they have sensitive necks. So that's fine, maybe don't do it here if that's an issue for you, but your neck is also neglected, so just use less, be more gentle. But a lot of people have saggy necks because they never do anything to their neck. So, you know, find that sweet spot where you can do something to your neck and just use a little. I use everything on my neck. I use everything on my face, my neck, back of my neck, my chest, and my arms. I do the whole area, I treat it all. Maybe I don't use as much here or under here, but I still treat it. It's skin, you gotta work it out, right? So it's like if you got muscles, you work it out. You don't just work out your elbow, okay? Let me rinse my face real quick. And then I always just dab my face dry. You don't wanna rub. Just dab and get everything out of the hairline. The reason why the cleanser will help anything, even if it's a drugstore product, work better is because the top layer of the epidermis has been taken off, the oil has been controlled, and the skin is just more even so that the products can penetrate into the skin a little bit more easily and quickly, actually. So if you have like a lot of aging skin or melasma or, you know, sun damaged skin, you know, part of the issue is you want to start to treat that skin so that the top layer of your skin is baby fresh, brand new skin cells. And a lot of us have a built-up of old dead skin keratin, and if you're aging, then the cells actually, it takes about 6 weeks to go from the basal cell layer to the top layer, the epidermis. And if you're, you know, aging, you know, older, mature, or you got a lot of sun damage, it could take a little longer, and that's why you have kind of that thick crust or thick layer of skin that has discoloration that doesn't, it almost starts to look a little waxy. And our goal is to try to get the skin as youthful looking as possible. And when I mean youthful, I mean like think of right before puberty, a child's skin is pretty beautiful and even and hydrated and not congested and oily. So part of what you have to do, and that's what this does, is it controls oil, it inhibits oil, it helps with collagen stimulation. Alpha hydroxy acid it's been trumped by Retin A and Retinol, to be honest, but it's always been the gold standard and one of the most powerful agents. There's a lot of research that helps with acne, pigmentation, melasma, cellular turnover, collagen stimulation, all kinds of stuff. So my skin is, as you can see, trying to let it focus, been cleansed and exfoliated. And sometimes what I'll do if I want to really kind of treat my skin at night, I will use the exfoliating cleanser, and then I will apply, depending on how I'm feeling or what I need, either the 12% vitamin C or the 20% beauty elixir. It just depends on my skin, what kind of needs, and that's what I want to teach you is, what do you need today? What do you need in the moment? Not, oh, I got to do the same thing. If you like doing the same thing, then fine, but don't expect radical, life-changing results with your skincare or your regimen, because giving it and mixing it up and playing and experimenting is really the best advice I could give you, and it's advice most people don't share because they want you to kind of follow a system and a set, because one, then you don't have to think about it, but also because then you rely on that, you become dependent on that. So I'm trying not to make you dependent on it. So you do what feels right for you in the moment. So if you're feeling dull, you got a lot of sun today, a lot of sun damage, you need a lot of nutrients, hydration, then you would use the vitamin C next. Vitamin C, anything liquidy always goes on first, whether that's a hyaluronic serum or whatever, but be careful because all vitamin C is acidic. This is a low sorbic, 12% acts kind of like a higher percentage. People love this, the feedback is amazing. With any vitamin C, I always say this, but it does depend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm doing that because I'm going more advanced with you in this video, so you don't have to be so afraid of using a little bit more if you want to, or when the time is right, or you feel like you got your skin to be stronger and can handle. Vitamin C is amazing because it makes the skin stronger. It helps to inhibit pigmentation. It's an antioxidant, a free radical scavenger. And the only issue with vitamin C really is sometimes it can be too acidic and too irritating to some skin types. You just don't know that until you kind of know that if you've tried it. So vitamin C is not for everyone, and high doses of it is unnecessary for a lot of people, especially younger people or people that are prone to acne. Everybody's using it at 20%. That absorbed almost instantly because of the deep exfoliation I just gave myself. But with all vitamin C, I think at least minimum, you should wait at least 5 minutes before you do anything else, especially when you're spending money on skincare. Like, give your skin time to absorb that. But what I do is I call that like the entry level application, and then I layer it in. So then now I'm gonna add another like 6 drops. And let's imagine you have a lot of pigmentation up here, or wrinkles, or sun damage, and you really want to treat this area. So I say spend more time, use more product, and really massage it into the skin like you were getting a facial from a professional. And make sure you get your ears behind your ears and your lips. And this stuff is amazing on the hands. If your hands are like super dry, or your forearms are super dry, I know it's really expensive, but a little kind of goes a long way. And it really makes the hands and the cuticles, it's really crazy because I wash my hands constantly, and sometimes that's the only thing that'll help me is I'll use my lactic on there or my vitamin C. It just depends on what I need, and it really gives my skin nutrients and it hydrates, especially with the propylene glycol in there. So this, as you know, all vitamin C is water soluble, so that's why it's often formulated with something that's a little more fatty chain molecule, so that it will stay stabilized and that it will penetrate and that it will get deeper into the skin. All vitamin C needs to get pretty deep into the skin below the surface. Of course, you'll have top surface brightening, but you really, in order for it to do what it's really kind of promoted to do, which is that, especially collagen stimulation. First of all, anything and everything that's saying stimulates collagen, okay? First of all, that's a little misleading with all products, and I try not to ever say that or anything because that's kind of a really strong claim, and in order to do that, you need to either use a really good formulation, you need to use it consistently over a long period of time, and remember always, collagen is in the dermis. That's about 40 layers deep into the skin. It takes some time to get in there, and it has to be a formulation that is engineered in such a way that that will actually happen when a lot of them aren't, or they're unstable, whether that's vitamin C or retinol. And know that not every anti-aging ingredient out there on the market, especially if it's a mask, is gonna cause collagen stimulation. That mask is not getting 40 layers into the skin to stimulate the fibroblasts. That's impossible. So we just need to be a little bit more realistic about this stuff and be more aware that like a lot of the marketing wants to like kind of get that money and make you believe and hype you up like, oh my god, it's gonna build my collagen. Honey, collagen takes a while to build. Even with microneedling or lasering, it takes 6 weeks to start to kind of really kick in. So you gotta be realistic. Like skincare, it might take longer, okay? That's absorbed, so leave that on. Now, when you use vitamin C before anything, before your brightener, before your retinol, before your cream, whatever, you kind of are prepping and laying down the perfect foundation for your skin to have the ultimate kind of health and success and to be younger looking, because vitamin C, what it does is it helps to kind of protect the membrane of the cell so that when UV radiation hits it, it is able to kind of shield it a little bit. So that's really powerful, and that's why we always recommend you use vitamin C, a good form, during the day, because it helps to also make the sunscreen work better. So once that's completely absorbed, I'm going to show you how to use my precision brightening treatment for pigmentation, because it plays well with the vitamin C and it will actually work better and quicker. And in this case, I'm using 4 pumps. If you're just starting off and want to use 2, that's fine. But with all pigmentation, or when you're trying to brighten your skin or trying to make your skin even, like that more unison color, you always want to treat everything. And the reason why, in my experience and opinion, is because there's pigment that's going to come later that you missed. And if you just do one area, it's kind of like acne, just so you know. Acne spot treatments, I can't stand them because they're misleading, because a lot of people that are dealing with severe acne just put the acne spot treatment on there, and what they don't realize is it's like whack-a-mole. So you're only killing that little bit of pigment, acne, and you're not treating below the surface of the skin where all of the whole area needs to get the medicine or acne medicine into the skin. Spot treatments, you just kill that little spot. You need to treat the whole face, and then you treat the troubled area a little bit more. So you rub this in, and I do spend time kind of rubbing this in. I get behind my ears, on my ears like this. Right here, a lot of women have pigmentation and melasma, or pigmentation from perfume, from putting perfume there, because the alcohol, or you wipe off any sunscreen, and the sun is attracted to that area a little bit more. So you always want to get it into your hairline. I put it right on the brow like this. Depending on the formulation, you want to be careful, but I do get it right here to brighten. See how bright my eyelids are? Because I treat them, I brighten them, I put products on there. I'm not saying you should, but if you want to, you could try. And you know, if you're having a reaction, back off, be careful. If you're really sensitive, obviously be careful, but you know, there's a thin line here that I'm kind of skating on. I want you to get results, but I don't want you to be unsafe and negligent. So be aware of how much you're putting on and where you're putting it. So that was about 4 pumps. Let's say you're dealing with melasma in your cheek. And what you want to do is you really want to get a good amount, 1 to 2 pumps, and really put it into the skin. Rub it into the skin so it's kind of thicker like that. And you just kind of keep rubbing it. And I get it right underneath the eye like that, just to keep my eye area bright. I do deal with pigment. Well, I've been dealing with that post-inflammation. It's actually been under control. I've been treating it with my products and the retinol, and no retinoic acid right now, and no hardcore hydroquinone, because I was doing the 4% from Abaji again, and girl, it was not. That's the thing about hydroquinone in general, just so you know. It's very effective, but it is risky. It's come with some possible side effects, and the side effect could be making the pigmentation worse, rebounding, coming back. So some people are sensitive to hydroquinone without realizing it, and then you make the pigmentation worse. So the thing about pigmentation though is often it's never on the top layer. So that's why you put it all over the brightening product, and then you'll put more on that area, and it should be kind of thick like this. It should be kind of like sticky like that. You really want that area, if you're dealing with melasma here or here or here or wherever, you want that to kind of soak into the skin a little bit more. You just want to keep adding. And then if you really want to be like have a brightening day, what you can do is you can apply this 3 times a day on that area and really do a spot treatment 3 times a day. Now, will it make you more red? Yes. Even if it's another hydroquinone product, yes. But you're gonna go inhibiting more of that pigmentation, and it's okay to do that once in a while when you're really trying to kind of get a quicker result and to saturate the skin with a lot of the skin brightener, so that over time you're going to just get the real damage that's occurring below the surface of the skin. So, you know, if I have a spot I'm really trying to work on, I'll do it just like you guys do. Don't act like you do or have done if when you were younger and you had acne and you kept putting the benzoyl until it fried the face, right? You could do that with other things too, brighteners and stuff. So just know that. So I let that completely soak in 15 minutes, especially if you're dealing with melasma or hardcore pigmentation issues. Let it soak in completely for 15 to 20 minutes. And then if you're gonna do a retinol, then that would be wise. A retinol would be great right now because that will also help to regenerate the skin. It will help to suppress the melanin and to make the pigmentation just more even. It will also help with oil production and acne and stuff. So you would put the retinol on over this, and that will give you a really nice brightening effect because of the vitamin C, and then the precision brightening, and then now the retinol. So you're gonna get dry, you're gonna get a little flaky, your skin's gonna transform, you're gonna work out that skin a little bit, just like you do when you go to the gym. Some people are like, oh my god, I need to see my skin peeling and flaking off. Not necessarily, there's a lot happening below the surface. And then there's some people that are like, it's red and flaky and causing a little bit of reaction, I can't use it, it's too strong. Well, it's a different type of mindset. So you want to find that thin line, that kind of like happy place where you're treating it just enough, giving it just what it needs enough, where you're not having massive reaction. The reason massive reactions usually occur is you're using way too much of the product. And this, the cleanser, just FYI, you can use this every day, but if you have to just use 1 pump, not 3 pumps. If you're gonna just do the 3 pumps, then do it 3 times a week and do a really good cleanse for about a minute or more. And maybe some people don't need to use it that much, or if your skin is super oily and super like congested, you could do maybe 4 to 5 pumps. It just depends. You need to figure that out yourself because I'm not working with you. No one is. So none of us on YouTube have your skin, have your concerns. And so that's what makes this process difficult and why I always want to keep you safe, but also why we don't know how much you're really using. And is 1 pump to you? Some people think that's 1 pump. When that's a pump, a whole thing. You push it all the way down, right? So like everyone has a different idea of stuff too. All right, so I just let that precision kind of continue to soak in. Now, another technique you could do is that you could do the lactic first, or this is a product that people are obsessed with, but a lot of you online you're not quite there yet with it. People in this law are like crazy obsessed about my blemish and breakout. They call it face crack. This helps with multiple things, including brightening the skin and exfoliation, and it controls oil. And yes, there's alcohol in here, and I think I need to be doing a video about alcohol in skincare, because there's some alcohol haters out there, okay? I think it's funny, like, I won't put the alcohol on my skin, but I'll drink it all night. It's like so interesting to me, right? It's like, there is a place for alcohol, including in salicylic acid, because that's how it is formulated so that it doesn't crystallize and so that it'll actually penetrate, and so that's an antiseptic, and so that it helps with controlling oil and doing all kinds of stuff. And in medical aesthetics, they use a lot more alcohol, especially in compounding and formulation. But anyway, you could rub your skin with 5 to 10 drops depending on how oily or sensitive you are, and you would rub this. Let me just show you how I use this product, because I don't show much of it online, and we're actually working on a different formulation right now. I'm so excited to share those things. Hopefully next year. We've been working on it for like a year now. So anyway, I put about 8 drops on this cotton round. Use whatever you have, 4x4, 2x2, 1x1, whatever, doesn't really matter. I don't like cotton balls only because they kind of soak up a lot of product. I hate wasting product, kind of cheap like that. So, but this toner, imagine it's this treatment, the blemish and breakout, or the lactic. Now, do you need both? Only if you want to be a little more hardcore and you have separate issues going on and you really want to exfoliate. But in our office, we will do the exfoliating cleanser, and then always, no matter what, we do the blemish and treatment, and then we do the lactic brightening. That's like if you want to give yourself a facial. And that was what was in my facial kit that was for Mother's Day, and I'm not sure what we're going to do. If we're trying to work on releasing it in a different way. So just for production and cost and stuff, and it was successful, thank you to, like, we sold it out like really quickly. We need to work on a few things is what I'm trying to say. Like, I just kind of like priced it because I really wanted to help people for Mother's Day, and then, you know, we did, like, my accountant did the numbers on it. She's like, girl, where'd you come up with that number? I'm like, oh, I don't know. So we need to work on a few things, especially with the production and stuff. So I'm working on it, girl, I'm sorry. So imagine you're just gonna kind of use this as a toner a little bit. And what you want to do is you kind of really want to get the oil off on your skin. You don't need to rub it aggressively, but you need to rub more of the skin consistently. So I'm doing like a cross hatching where I go inward and then I go down like this. So I want to cross and then I go down like this. or you could go up if you wanted like that. And you also want to get this in the hairline, behind the ears, on the ears, the neck, all of the neck like this. Anywhere and everywhere that there could be dirt, debris, congestion, makeup, oil, or anything. You really, the thing about oil that people don't realize is oil is actually a contributor to a lot of things, not just acne, but it actually causes that aging skin. It causes a lot of issues where there's too much sebum on the top layer of your skin. And I know a lot of you are using oils right now. So I do have a video coming out about that and why I think it could be an issue for you not really reaching your skincare goals the way that you think you are, because oils are now promoted to like build collagen. That needs to happen below the surface of the skin, many layers into the dermis layer, not on the top. We don't care about the top. The top is the effect of what we do. The cause of the issue is in the dermis or below the surface of the skin, probably in the basal cell layer or further deep down. And the effect should be healthy, glowing, and gorgeous skin at the top. But just treating the top layer of the dead skin of the epidermis anyway isn't going to do much for you, and that's why a lot of people don't get the results they want. And you probably could get better results even if it was cheaper stuff, if you just used it differently, used the techniques a little differently, and went a little bit more aggressive when the time felt right. So that was about 8 drops of the Blemish and Breakout. My skin, it's not fair. I mean, just did all this stuff, but you can see just how kind of tighter it looks. And what's great about the salicylic, it also does help with hydration over time. This can dry you out a little bit at first, but it's designed to help to control and inhibit oil production over a long period of time. But it also helps with brightening. That's why the Jesner peel is so popular. Salicylic in high strengths is very popular, not just for acne, but for brightening. So doing that, especially if you have post-inflammation hyperpigmentation, that's awesome already. Just doing that consistently. Can you use it every day? You can. Just use less. Just wash your face and just use it really quick as kind of like a quick toner. If you're doing 10 drops every day, I say that's a little too much. You don't need to exfoliate that much. So you could do also 3 times a week where you would apply 10 drops and you really work that into the skin and really kind of treat your skin and exfoliate it and really kind of push it. Push that salicylic acid into the skin. And then you can do whatever else. Now, you don't need to rinse the salicylic off at all. Some people have been rinsing it off. You don't need to, unless your skin is very sensitive. It does tingle until you get used to it and you build up tolerance. Now, let's say this is a product that is very popular in my office. It's great for acne, wrinkles. It's the Glycolic Cream. It's a 10% formulation formed with other acids in there that really kind of create kind of like a plethora of the perfect acid formulation, so that you're getting multiple benefits with different acids that aren't always so acidic. And the pH is a little lower on this, so you're going to get a really nice kind of probably tingling sensation. But like I said before, glycolic acid is amazing. If you're sensitive to vitamin A or retinoids, glycolic is the way to go. AHA is the way to go. And with this, because I just want to show you for a more advanced application, I'm going to do 4 pumps on my finger. Now, if you did the AHA exfoliating cleanser, the Blemish, and then you did the lactic, or you did one or the other, whatever, and you did the 4 pumps, or you did the vitamin C first, it doesn't matter. I want you to think about this like this. If you want to be that aggressive and give your skin a really good treatment, you can do that if you work yourself up to that, and you can back off anytime if you feel very sensitive. This is a 10% formulation. This is 10%. This is 10%. This is 2%. So if you did all of these 3, you just gave yourself 20% glycolic already, a 2% salicylic, and now another 10, so you've just done a 30% treatment on your skin. Should you do that every day? No. But if you had all those products, or you had one or the other, it's fine. And now you would use the Glycolic Cream for more exfoliation and brightening, or you could use, if you didn't have the Glycolic Cream, you would do the retinol, or if you didn't have the retinol and you really wanted to brighten, you do the brightening, or if you didn't have any of that but you only had the vitamin C, then you just do the vitamin C but use twice as much. Like, you could just do whatever you want. If you didn't have any of those and you just had a drugstore moisturizer, do that. It doesn't matter. Like, it just, everything you put on your skin has a purpose and intention. So this is going to exfoliate, brighten, help with wrinkles. This is an anti-aging product, anti-aging treatment, really. So this is going to definitely tingle because of everything else I just did. And I put it all over, I rub it in, And I do get it like that. I get by my eye like this. And I rub it into my hairline. I rub it behind my ears. I do get whatever's left on my neck. And if I didn't have a shirt on, I get my chest like this. I get above my lip. Be careful around the nose and, you know, really close to the eyes. So I did 4 pumps. And that's, I think some people, you know, they're afraid to use more product because obviously it costs money. I don't want you wasting product. I don't want you using more product just because I'm telling you to. It's only if you feel like you're ready and you really want to kind of see more potential with the products you have, even with what you already have from another brand. You can just play around and experiment. So I would let that soak in, right? And now I would add another little pump to my eye area to give my eyes just another little bit of nourishment and treatment, kind of like I would if I was using the retinol. If you wanted to also, you could use, let's say you just had the creams, the glycolic, you would put this on first, let it soak in 15 minutes, and then you put the retinol over that. That's gonna be great because your skin's gonna be open, it's gonna be exfoliated, and then you put the retinol and it's gonna go, kind of like go right in. Now, when you do the products like this, can you expect more sensitivity? Sure. Redness? Sure. Dryness, flaking, sure. It is winter time, so be careful. You would moisturize, use a moisture mask like the Clinique Moisture Surge. Typically in the morning, what I do is I just kind of rinse my face and I'll either moisturize with like my Weightless or my rehydrating, or I'll do a spray, or I'll do a mask. It really all depends on what I've done the night before, what my skin kind of needs in the moment, what it's feeling like. But sometimes you really do want that exfoliation and that dryness to occur. That's what happens when you come to see a professional. So you're just doing a home version of that, and always making sure, if you're concerned or if you have questions, to reach out to me, my assistant. You know, like, don't just always just push it because Cody said. But do know that you can push your skin, girl, and treat it and train it to be stronger and more healthy looking over a longer period of time, and give you the results that you're really looking for, instead of, you know, just, you know, doing this kind of stuff and just, you know, just doing the 1 pump and, you know, that stuff. You're gonna get that result. That's what you're gonna get. If you want like that flawless looking skin, right? It's like if you want that flawless body where you have an 8-pack and you are just ripped and cut up, it takes work, right? And they do all kinds of stuff from their diet and eating a lot of protein and running rigorously on the treadmill and, you know, boot camp and all that stuff. And there's a time and place for all that stuff. And that's kind of the same theory, I think, of skincare, is that if you're really kind of wanting to have that look and that skin and that quality of skin, then you gotta push it sometimes. There's a time and a place, and you gotta know you can mix things up and you can play and you can experiment. So I know I went on and on. I was all over the place today to empower you that you can play and that you can get different results, quicker results, by using a little bit more, by massaging it in, by getting a little bit under your eye, on your eyebrow, by putting it in your hairline. I'll leave you with this. If you're using any of my products for acne purposes, which some people love, they use the retinol. And then with the retinol, you would use that as kind of like your medicine, and you're really gonna put it into all over your face, all over, and then you're going to, let's say you're breaking out a lot on your chin, you're not gonna spot treat, you're gonna really rub it in all over into the breakout area like this. And let's say you have a couple really big whiteheads, let that soak in about 5 minutes, and then you're gonna do spot treatment like this. You're gonna put it on the bigger ones like that. So you treat the whole area and the possible breakout that's gonna come up that's hidden below the surface of the skin, and then you put more on the actual spot. If you're using this as an acne spot treatment, you put, the blemish treatment as an acne spot treatment, you put about 10 drops onto a Q-tip and you hold it onto the pimple for 10 seconds, and then you take it off. And then you put it on the pimple for 10 seconds, and then you take it off. Once it's done drying and burning for about a minute, then you put a little bit of moisturizer. I always recommend with all of the acids, the cleanser, the blemish treatment, the lactic, you always want to moisturize afterwards if you don't have everything else. So if you only have that one product from me, any type of exfoliant, after it soaks in for the time allotted, especially on the instruction card, then you just moisturize with whatever you have, or my rehydrating cream. So I love you guys, and I hope I have not just lost you all and you're like, oh my god, you need to take her and she has lost her mind. What was this video about? Did this help you? Do you have any questions? Are you concerned about anything? Let me know. And again, thank you for all of your trust in your business, and I can't wait to see you in a new video, and remember to always stay gorgeous. Bye.